Bonjour, I am Sandrine, the founder and leader of the Golden Age Spiritual Ministry. Together, we learn about the embodiment of our multidimensionality so we can reclaim our full sovereignty in this beautiful reality. My High Council and I are happy to welcome you into our movement of spiritual revolution. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new transmissions. Thank you for liking, commenting below and sharing this video. Show us your love. Hello, here is a little video about the way information is organized. Many of my students have had questions about how to access the akashic records, what the difference between akashic records, Oversoul network, where is the information stored, and so on. And I would love to remind everyone listening to this transmission that we are quantum beings and that the architecture of life is slightly complex. So trying to reduce it into words is challenging enough already. So please do not see what I teach as, oh, it is exactly like that always, because it is ever evolving. I am myself opening up my consciousness at an accelerated rate, and therefore I receive more and more and more information as time passes. And therefore, what I'm sharing this with you, maybe I'll listen to it in a year and I'll be like, oh my God, like I need to refine this and redo a video about this. So get inspired to understand yourself a little bit more, because what I share here is what I've been receiving for a little while, what I have been experiencing myself, and what my High Council shares with me, as well as my soul. As my soul and my High Council, we co-create as one, and we channel this piece of content for you today. So we all are a soul that descends in physicality from an oversoul network. So the oversoul network is the bigger frequency that we are. This bigger frequency that we are comes down into physicality, and inside of us we have crystalline divine genome present within our DNA, and that has all the information about our oversoul network. And our oversoul network also projects in alternate realities, which are in other star systems at times, yes, or in other time and space reality. So all of this information is present within the Oversoul network. We can access that when we move through a code of ascension or pillar of light, all the way up, asking and requesting to connect to our own Oversoul network. We can find all the information about ourselves as it has importance for this life here. Because the major difference between our Oversoul network of information and the Akashic record is that the Akashic record is like a database, a library for all life forms that have existed, that currently exist within creation. So it's a pretty big library. Within this library, we have records about our own soul. At times, the records that is present within our Oversoul network is no longer needed, because we have healed it, we have alchemized it, and it is no longer needed. It is creating density. It is too low frequency. Our Oversoul network cannot evolve with that density. That is the purpose of us coming back to Earth. That is the true purpose of karma. We are not trapped in wheels of life against our own free will, because that's not being a sovereign being. We are sovereign beings. Our Oversoul network, like every life form's purpose, is to evolve. To evolve, it is to increase the frequency within its own fractal self. Every fractal has the possibility to vibrate at a certain degree of variability between certain low vibe to higher vibes. To be able to increase frequency, we can do that by receiving so many activations, by choosing love as a guiding force, by practicing compassion, kindness, by being joyful, by opening up our consciousness. That is basically bringing high vibe within our fractal self. But what about the pain, the trauma, the wounds that are there? These will need to be addressed. Not all of them, because often what happens is that the alchemical process unfolds as we bring high vibes in, simply by choosing to rise up to be the sovereign divine spiritual being that we were born to be and that we are at each and every moment, if we choose to align to that. That only can already alchemize lifetimes and lifetimes of trauma. But as you might know, things loop. Things are like coming back, recurring in the mind, and our external reality keeps on projecting that to us. So it's like, oh my God, like this needs to be addressed, that needs to be addressed. So we go into the shadow work and we do the work, which is also extremely important. So we do both, yes? So our Oversoul network keeps evolving, but there is a moment where it cannot continue evolving if it doesn't process the low vibe. So it's going to send projection on Earth if those projections come from Earth, and it's going to say, okay, so now we're going to change this data. We're going to change this data by bringing this data down into physical body to show the human that it is not because it is a woman from this race or that color or that, you know, that religion that this necessarily unfolds. This is not because you are a man of that age, that race, that color, and that location that necessarily unfolds, because you are powerful. You can choose love as your guiding force. You're amazing. And so basically, the Oversoul network sends us to recode itself. To recode itself for the purpose of evolution, for the also by trying to find joy, you know, literally enjoy the pleasures of life. So basically, once the Oversoul network clears low vibe, low frequency, it can remove big chunks, like a lot can be removed from its own structure. Like when we heal ourselves, we remove data, we remove pains and aches, and we purge by sweating and things like that. We literally take density out of our body, like diseases, viruses, bacteria, or pain, emotional pain, mental pain. We remove it, we discard it. The Oversoul network does that. Simply that information stays in the akashic record. So here it is very important to know that you do not need to go into the akashic records, because that is the information there. Yes, all the information is there, but why do you need to go and poke at all the negative past lives and stuff like that that you've had? That is not important. That is actually detrimental. What we must do instead is to go into the Oversoul network to see what is actually activated there, what is being processed, why is the information present, because it will be much more relevant to us. And in our Oversoul network, we have all the information about the amazing past lives and alternate realities and connection with star races that we must know that we have, because it is still present, it is still high vibe, it is still what the Oversoul network uses as a network of information. So we have tools, we have gifts, we have talents, we have momentum, we have inspiration, we have higher level of consciousness, all of that present within the Oversoul network, knowing that this unique algorithm is also copy-pasted within our crystalline divine genome. So as above, so below, as within, so without. If it's above in the Oversoul network, it is also below in our physical body. If it's outside in the Oversoul network, it's inside in the physical body. So you can totally go in your physical body, ask your physical body to receive information. All the information is there, yes? Only we are not conscious of it. So here is the thing. There is also different layers of information being shared through the architecture of our systems, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, with the energetic system and the light body included in this. So the Oversoul network sends information from its own structure. So let's say it's coming from above, yes? And this information gets shared first through the outer womb. The Arcturians call the light body the outer womb. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. So I decided to call it myself too, like that too. So the information is shared in the light body, in the outer womb. This information is the same information as it's present within your cells. But here is the thing, is that most of us, we live from carbon-based DNA. So we don't have access to our divine genome. That system is not yet the operating system if we haven't done any work on ourselves, if we don't choose love as a guiding force, if we don't choose 5D frequency over density. So what happens is that the Oversoul network brings this information to create quantum resonance within this physical reality. So outside of me, I would have these codes that are present, these things that I must go through, that I must remember, that I must know about. Because I don't spend time in meditation enough, I cannot see what's inside. Big problem for humanity, always out, 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 never in, in, in. If we are in, we don't even need to worry about having anything sent from the Oversoul network. It's like we are activated already. So the Oversoul network plays that outside of ourselves, because therefore it's going to start entering in quantum resonance with what is inside of ourselves. So let's say we have, for example, a code of courage coming because we haven't been courageous enough. We haven't chosen ourselves. We always say no to investing in our spiritual journey because our husband doesn't want to, our wife doesn't want to, because it's not the right time. We're not courageous because we are scared to take different decisions because of what are other people going to think, or maybe I shouldn't be doing this, and so on. So code of courage hasn't been activated enough. So basically, Oversoul networks bring this code of courage. And this code of courage is there in the light body. And depending on how much we have opened up to being ready to be courageous, this code might actually come closer. And it's going to come closer from the light body to the energetic body, and closer and closer and closer to the energetic body until it's all the way into the etheric field. When it's in the etheric field, this code emits much stronger signal. And therefore, it shows that it is ready to come in the body. When this code comes in the body, it kind of merges with the code that is already present inside, and that therefore, bam, all of a sudden, we are vibrating this new identity of being a courageous person. So how does that happen, actually, Sandrine? It's like this code first is in the light body, then energetic body, before being in our physical body. Yes? So what's going to happen is that our macrocosm is being directed to act in our favor, because the universe always has our back. So like all of this code is saying, like, now she needs to activate courage. She needs to activate courage. Next thing you know, you might be walking down the river and then you hear yep, 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 like that. And you turn around and you see this cute little dog there in the water. And this cute little dog tries to swim for his dear life, but it's just like he cannot swim. He's like, oh my God, this dog is gonna die. But oh my God, it's cold outside. I don't have change of clothes in the car. And what are gonna people say if they see me carrying this dog? What should I do? It's gonna ruin my day. But all of a sudden, your code of courage, and not only that, but so many other codes, of course, of compassion, of confidence, or trust, or like connection with the animal. It's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be courageous and I'm going to do it. And next thing you know, you take your pants off and your shirt off in the middle of freaking winter, and you go and you start swimming in the river to get the dog out. And when you get the dog out, you go back into your car, you wrap yourself, and hopefully you had a blanket there, or like you put your dry clothes back on, and then you take the dog to the vet, and then the dog to the shelter, and you just saved a life. And your code of courage was activated that way. What you do not realize is that by just this action, which is already a big action, all right? But we have all like little actions like that. We can all make there every single day. We have opportunities to choose differently, to be more kind, more generous, more compassionate, more patient, more loving, more joyful, more courageous, more confident. Every time we have like tiny little momentum offered to us to see if we rise up to the occasion. Every time we rise up to the occasion, we recode ourselves more and more and more like that. So inside of ourselves, all of a sudden, our crystalline divine genome takes over as the operating system, which allows us to vibrate at much higher level of frequencies, 5D frequency. That's amazing, isn't it? So yes, maybe the dog story doesn't relate to me being courageous into, stepping outside my comfort zone to instead invest in myself and go on that retreat in Bali, or, go and join this program with this spiritual teacher that I've always wanted to do, or go and talk to my husband or my wife about me wanting to really do this, like being courageous. Maybe it doesn't really directly, but actually it does, because the code of courage, like all codes, they have many different ways of expressing itself. So maybe it's like, you know what? If I can save this freaking dog, I can go talk to that person. I can take a leap of faith and do that. And the more we realize this, the more we understand all of these fascinating ways of the information being shared in us, all around us, and how literally life continuously offers us so many pathways of evolution. So, the information is also stored in your body. And for me, that's the best way to get information because so many people, they just want to live, they are happier in meditation or they're in the sound system and they want to astral travel and blah, blah, blah. Why? You came here to be a freaking human, for goodness sake. Be a human. Be an earthling. You're an earthling, aren't you? You've got hands, you've got hair, you listen to this. You're a human. You're an earthling. The earth doesn't need people to escape. The earth ascension process, the awakening process, needs people to anchor, to ground in this reality, to be fully present, embodied, unapologetically loving this realm so they can be of service of this realm. By wanting to exit, we don't serve anyone or anything. We just remove ourselves. Therefore, entities can have a ball inside our body because we don't want our body anyway. We keep judging it and we keep wanting to be somewhere else. Be in your body. Be here. When you look for information, you go look into your physical body. You ask your physical body because, of course, the information in your physical body, the information in your energetic system, the information in your light body, as well as the information in your Oversoul network, of course, it's also in the akashic records. Because in the akashic records, it's the database of all information, the huge central library. So if you want to go to the akashic records so that you can get information, you can. But that is certainly not the most effective way. And there you can get freaking lost in this library. I swear, you can get lost because information is like not classified according to what it is that you need. Everything is out there. So it will give you even more excuses to escape. Be in your body. Ask your DNA what you need to know right now. Ask your life what you need to know right now. Ask your human self. Ask your soul. Be present. So this is a little bit the architecture of shared information. I just want to say, I know that many people, they do studies to understand the Akashic records and to go tap into the field of Akashic records and so on. I'm not judging that, but I am saying that there is a lack of precise information about the way information is being shared and that it is not the most effective way to me, according to me. I do get information into the Akashic records when I have one-on-one students or for my students for specific purpose. But mostly it's kind of like I ask Archangel Metatron to be there and to allow me to receive the information that I must really receive to serve the person at the highest. But I know that mostly the information that comes is from the Oversoul network and the physical body of the person, because that's what literally is what's happening right now, or it's what's happening in the next few years or for this life. And after all, this is what's the most important. Also, through information in your physical body and your Oversoul network, you can also have the information about your connection with your star family, with star friends, because it is present, because your Oversoul network also projects in these alternate realities. Yes, so it's also present inside you. So if you want that and stay fully embodied, go in your body, go in your Oversoul network. Yes, I hope that you enjoy this transmission. You see, I do get very, very excited with everything that I share about that. And I will be extremely excited to continue sharing through all of this free transmission that I share with everyone. And this is going to be an integral part, by the way, of the studies of my student of Pathway 1 and Pathway 2, because we were going into architecture of life and they were asking more and more questions. So I decided to record an extra video. So my students, I love you. Thank you very much for inspiring me to create more content. I send you lots of love. Continue shining bright because the world needs you. The world needs all the amazing earthling of the light to unapologetically love her freaking realms. Give earth, give your body love. That's what is needed right now. Bye.